Hello and welcome back to Champions of Beyond. In this series, we're having a look at a couple of cards at a time, usually around a theme. And they're going to be from some of the older hero packs. They are going to be potentials to be going into out of production. And this pack and this video is going to cover some of the leadership allies that came with Captain America, Steve Rogers. So this pack is already out of production, unfortunately, and potentially some of these cards will be retired. Some of them may get reprints in the future, and that's what we're going to have a look at today. So as I said, we're looking at the three leadership allies that came with Captain America's pack. Now, he did come with two other allies. We'll do the disclosure now, and they were Mockingbird and Hawkeye. Both of those are core set cards, so they are not going to be disappearing from the range. They will stay within the current environment because they come in the core set. But the three allies we're looking at today, first of all, we will look at the 2-cost ally, and that is Squirrel Girl. Now, Squirrel Girl has quite a cult following, shall we say. She is maybe getting a little bit more popular with some of the younger fans, especially if they watch the Spidey and His Amazing Friends. They've had Squirrel Girl in a couple of episodes of that, more recently, some of the newer episodes. And so she is a 2-cost ally, which 2-cost allies are always good. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 health, and she's Avenger traded. I was just going to say it's Doreen Green. Yeah, Doreen Green is the alter ego of Squirrel Girl. Response: after Squirrel Girl enters play, deal 1 damage to each enemy. And the flavor text is, come on squirrels, let's get them. Now, I think because Squirrel Girl has such a cult following, she's a little bit of a cult hero, I do wonder whether or not she will return in some way, shape or form. Maybe she'll come back as an ally in a different aspect. She might come in, they might do a Justice Squirrel Girl that comes in and removes 1 threat from each scheme, or something like that. They want to open up the design space, so nothing really is put past them. And I don't think she needs to be locked into leadership. I think as far as us legacy players, if we're going to see a reprint of Squirrel Girl, we'd like her to do something a bit different. We'd like her to be different. So being different in a different aspect and having a different response is not unheard of, or not unwanted, should I say. If we're going to see a reprint of her, I think it being slightly different would be fun. It'd be a fun way to return some of these older cards. As it is, I looked at the RRGs. There are currently no erratas for any of these allies, so they wouldn't need to reprint her to fix any major issues. I don't think her enters playability is anything too powerful, and it wouldn't break sort of their power that they want the game to remain level at. So for me, I think she will get a reprint. Whether or not that's a reprint exactly as she is, which I hope it is, and I hope we get a reprint of her, maybe in a different aspect, maybe with a different condition, but we shall see. That is going to be one of the things that is left to the future, I suppose. The second ally we're going to talk about is the other 2-cost ally, and that is Wonder Man, Simon Williams. So, as I say, 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 3 attack, 3 health, again Avenger traded. He has a star on his attack, so the star reads, as an additional cost for Wonder Man to attack, you must discard 1 card from your hand. Now, I don't think this is a game-breaking ability. I don't think that Wonder Man is actually a popular option out there. Even when he came out, he wasn't really used a ton. I do think he's good in some heroes that like to have a resource sink. So if you run a Hulk leadership, for example, and sorry, again, Hulk is wave 1, Hulk potentially will disappear at some point anyway. Currently not confirmed that Hulk is out of production, but sort of going on what they're saying, this will happen very soon. So yeah, any character that likes to get rid of all their resources, so like Hulk at the end of his turn, so Hulk can spend 2 cards out of his hand, play Wonder Man, and then chuck away the other card to activate him. And then if he ever has a card left over at the end of his turn, going forward, you just have Wonder Man attack. You know, it works for him. It works for anyone else that is maybe uber rich with resources. Maybe if you're running any of the heroes that like to discard, he isn't Avenger he isn't Avenger locked, so you could potentially put him in a Bishop build, so that Bishop can chuck away extra resource at the end of his turn, so he hasn't got to discard down his hand size. You can use any other character that likes to discard from the deck, so Magneto if you're running Digging Deeps and all that sort of thing. Getting him out again, getting rid of some extra resource at the end of your turn, just making your turn a little bit more efficient, works. But despite that, he's still not particularly well rated amongst the game. Being a 2-cost ally, 2-cost allies are always good, but for me, I honestly see Wonder Man being retired. I don't see him coming back. Now, I've just said with Squirrel Girl, it would be good if her reprint had a different aspect, and potentially, you know, they could do the same thing for Wonder Man, but will they? I don't think so. I think he will be retired. So, but again, these are my opinions, so please let me know in the comments below what you think. We're saving the most expensive ally to last now, so we are looking at the 4-cost ally, Falcon, and that is Sam Wilson. So, Sam Wilson obviously is coming out shortly as the new Captain America in the newest film. Obviously, we saw him become Cap in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this is him as Falcon. And he is, as I said, 4-cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, and he has 3 HP. He is Aerial and Avenger. So, response. After Falcon enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So, this was very useful early on. And I'm adding him into this this video, this chat. Even though he has been reprinted in the past, he did come out, and I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, which pack, whether or not he came in with War Machine or Hawkeye or Ant-Man, but it was one of the other leadership Avengers. There are 2 copies if you have a full playset at the minute, if you are a legacy player. But regardless of which other hero pack he came in, he still falls out of that 2 to 3 year period that Marvel Champions wants for their current environment. So for me, and I've avoided, thankfully, the spoilers online, because at one point they did say that there was some spoilers somewhere out there for the rest of this wave and for next wave. Didn't want to be spoiled that far in advance. I remember being spoiled, 2 cycles ahead, and things get a bit stale, so I've purposely stayed away from it. But there are a lot of people still thinking that he will be in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wave. As of time of recording, we don't know. There has been no confirmation of this. We should have just seen the reveal for Silk, I believe, by the time this airs anyway, which is fun. Another one of the heroes from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wave. And if he is the next one to be revealed, I think more likely than this version of him being reprinted goes, I think we will see a new version of him. Potentially, if he has a team up, if it is Sam and Bucky, there will be a team up. So there will be a Sam Wilson, regardless whether or not it's a Captain America or a Falcon ally. Potentially, I could see them doing a new ally for him, but this version of him, I think, will be retired. The big worry is if they keep reprinting some of these older allies and older cards, those of us that do have everything are just going to have a mountain of reprints. So that is a slight worry for me. I think we'll see a new version. I'd love to see maybe his hero being a 3-sided card. Maybe you have, Sam Wilson alter ego, you have Captain America as his other side of the card, and the card folds out and his wings come out and the artwork is him as Falcon. So if they miss that, and that isn't what they end up doing, I think that's a huge missed opportunity. We shall see. That is all to come, hopefully soon. So thank you for watching, and please let me know in the comments below, what do you think about these 3 allies? I did say there at the end, didn't I, that this version of Sam Wilson would be retired? Just checking. Can't remember if I said it or not. But yes, so let me know, what do you think? Are these 3 some of your favourite allies? Do these make it into every Avengers leadership deck you build? What are your opinions on these cards? And do you think that they should be given, a new lease of life? Do you think they should remain in the current environment or be left to retire? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy gaming.